The Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters proudly presents Angler and Hunter Television. Brought to you by Canadian Tire, Burris Optics, Mercury Marine and Lund Boats, Yamaha ATVs, Browning Ammunition, Browning Firearms, Suffix Fishing Line, Rapala, Camillus Knives and Cuda Tools, and Yukon Gear.
Winter can be a tough time for Ontario hunters. Bitter cold, snow, and the fact that there's very few seasons open for game can make for a long winter. But that doesn't mean you can't get out and get some shooting in. And even try your hand at cooking up some alternative game recipes. Okay, ready to go. One of my favorite things to do in the winter is crow hunt. Got one. Where's the rest of you? It's not complicated crow hunting, eh? I mean, I got a plastic bin. I bought a bunch of decoys that are actually Halloween decorations. You know, you see them every Halloween. You go in the stores and they're $1 or $2. I don't know what they cost, but I load up on those. I put them in the front yard for a day on October 31st, and then I put them in a bin, and they come in, you know, real handy for crow hunting. It's I got an owl decoy there that same thing. People put them on their gardens and stuff to keep birds away, I guess. But it's a cheap setup. The ones in the trees are actually crow decoys I bought that have a little clip on them, and they're light. They move around in the wind. You don't need a lot. Crows are a smart bird, but they're also easy to get. It's easy to get their attention with an electronic call. There's distress calls. There's mob calls. There's all sorts of different calls you can use. But for the most part, they're a real curious bird, and they're going to come over. And usually when there's a mob going on or an owl or any sort of a bird of prey, they kind of go into this swarm mode, and that's when you can get them. Now, I'm hunting a stubble field here, and I coyote hunt here a lot, and I do see a lot of crows because the corn stubble. So it's not like you need a marsh or a certain area to set up in. As long as there's a few crows around, you put that electronic caller out and some decoys out, you'll get shooting. You know, it's a great way to spend a couple winter days. And trust me, they're good to eat. I'm not making this up. Crows are open to hunting year-round in Ontario. And come winter, they can be very predictable, often using the same flyway day after day. I'll hear one. They're coming. Setting up in the dark is important, as I find crows start moving at first light. So being set up and ready is part of having a successful hunt. When I look through the binoculars, I can see amazing. It's amazing how much light they bring in. Oh, there they are. They're all in those trees. 1, 2, 3. It's 3 anyway. 4, 5, 6. Of all the days, I usually coyote hunt here. I wasn't getting much coyote action, so I set up for crows. And now there's the turkeys that the coyotes chase. We'll see if I made the right decision. There he is. Gone. He was ripping, eh? Yeah, he got our wind. For sure. Here comes a couple of... There's one coming. I find mornings are best. The birds are hungry and often in bigger flocks, anywhere from 10 to 200 birds. Got another one. I guess one at a time's okay.
This portion of Angler and Hunter Television brought to you by Yamaha ATVs.
Crows respond very well to calls, and a distress crow or even an alarm call will get things going pretty quick.
I got one. One out of three ain't bad. Here's one coming. Got him.
I'm shooting a Browning BPS 20 gauge and getting some decent shots, but the crows seem particularly wary.
Sun's coming out.
The birds coming in from behind me were giving me the best shots, but any that came in from the side would spook and flare.
Oh, I missed! I suck! Too close. Come back. Oh, that was terrible. Low, low. Oh, he spooked hard. You bugger! How did I miss him? Unbelievable. Look at those guys. Come on. You want to be comfortable when you're out in the winter. I mean, I got my hands exposed right now, but they're freezing. But you want your hands exposed when you're working a shotgun and an electronic call. But, you know, having this camo, I can't express how comfortable I am in this. This is Yukon Gear's reversible bib and parka, and I've been pushing this actually for, I don't know, probably close to 10 years when they first came out with this product, and it's changed over the years. But regardless of the conditions, whether it's winter, there's snow on the ground, I could just turn it inside out. It's warm, it's dry, it's super quiet, and there's pockets everywhere. So I've got hand warmers, I got shells, I got clippers, I've got everything in this that I need. And if for some reason there's no snow, or I want to use it for deer hunting, or it's reversible, it's a great versatile outfit to have. And trust me, it's warm. I mean, I got a t-shirt underneath. Oh, I hear him. It's on. The action's over here, birds. Behind me, behind me. Missed a few. Can't afford to be missing that many. Nice looking bird, eh? Crows. Very underrated. You know, they're a scavenger, but I mean, you know, bears are omnivorous. A lot of animals we eat are omnivores, and crows are really no different. Little known fact, snowshoe hares are actually known to cannibalize and eat meat. So there.
After a decent shoot and knocking down a few crows, I called it a day.
Okay, well, I guess that's it. There's the flurry of crows flying is over, but I knocked a few of these beauties down. And basically what I'm going to do is trim them up with the game shears, and then I'm going to cut the breasts out of them and add them to a Creole, like a jumbo style stew. And they're really delicious. So easy to clean. There's lots of feathers on these. You can sort of do the step on the wings and pull the legs trick with them, but I just take the Camillus game shears, snip, 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 cut the breast out, and it's game on. It's good eating.
Even though there was a major snowstorm in the forecast, I was going to return and take another shot at bagging some crows.
This portion of Angler and Hunter Television brought to you by Minn Kota and Humminbird.
Okay, so obviously there's a lot of snow on the ground, and last time out I had quite a few crows, but they were hanging up and flaring just out of range. So I've got my waterfowl gun. I brought my Maxus 2, and I'm going to be using some 3-inch number 4s. You might think, oh, they're just crows, that's overkill, but crows are, one, they're a tough bird, and two, they look like they're flying slow, but they're sort of elusive. So with the 12 gauge, I'm going to have a little more range. I could probably shoot birds out, 40 yards instead of trying to get them into like 20 or 30 yards. And it's a pretty simple setup. I've thrown those decoys out in the snow, and when the crows come, hopefully I get a couple of mobs going, but I do need some to drop down into range. But more or less, this is going to be my setup. I'm going to crank up the calls, back up into the trees here, and see if I can get some longer range shots and finish off my limit of crows. It's a great way to spend a couple winter days, and they are good to eat. I've shown you that in the past with the crow tacos. So I'm going to load this bad boy up and start calling.
I switched up for the second day of this shoot. I brought my Maxus 2 12 gauge, which is an auto loader, and should let me make some longer shots if the crows won't come in close.
Start calling.
3-inch number 4 or number 5 steel shot works great.
I hear one. I just fired up the call. Oh, it's right there. Oh, there's a whole bunch. They're high. They're real high. I was expecting some close range shooting, but they just stay out of range. Look how high they are. That's how I call crows. This way! Yeah, come on! Party in the field out here! That didn't work. Sorry. Single above me. Well, if I get one out of every group, I might do okay. Turn this way. Come on. Perfect. Down. Crow down. These are long shots. I never would have made those shots with that 20 gauge. With this deep snow, we set back a bit from the field, and the birds just aren't swooping in like they were. Real cautious. Maybe it's the porcupine in the tree. It's scaring them. Are they a threat to crows? Whew. He's down. I knew I hit him. Man, those are tough birds.
The Hunting Edge is brought to you by Browning Ammunition.
To get the edge over the crows, I used a pair of Burris drop-tine binoculars to spot incoming birds. Yukon Gear's reversible snow camo kept me concealed and warm. A Browning Maxus 2 loaded with Browning's BXD 3-inch No. 4 shot proved to be the ticket for knocking down the crows. And of course, a Camillus knife made prepping the birds for the pot a cinch.
The flurry might be over. But even if it is over, I mean, between the, the birds I shot the other day and then these birds, I'm going to have lots to put into a pot. And it would have been great to get some of those birds out of that big mob that was here, but whatever, I'll take the stragglers. A couple of these are big crows, so worst case scenario, I got enough to chow down on. Oh, look at this guy. He's like, I don't want any part of that. Oh well. There's another one way out here. Mitt full of crows. This is a good workout, eh? Feathers everywhere. Oh, pretty awesome. Another one over here, and I got one way out there. Not a bad bunch of birds. Look at that. It's gonna be good. Oh, so there it is. That's what it's all about right there, crow hunting. Between the birds I got the other day and these, there's gonna be a lot of filler for that jambalaya I make. And you gotta try it. They're good eating birds. And they're fun to shoot. They respond well to calls. They're year-round birds, Sometimes, early winter to late winter can be a bit of a challenge, but in the dead of winter, they're very predictable. They've got a place they roost and a place they go to every day, whether they're scavenging or, eating from grain piles and silage piles at farms. But they're easy to pattern. And as you saw, there can be mobs of them around when the action's hot. But picking your shots and working away at them, you can knock down a few birds. And crow hunting it's a lot of fun and makes good food. Pretty simple.
After a great flurry of crows, it was time to breast them out and add them to my Creole.
And there is a breast with one pellet in it. I just pull them apart, snip off the wings. Game shears are the deal. Clean that up when I get home.
There's plenty of Creole-style gumbo recipes available on the internet. But with the crow meat, you simply pan-sear the breasts in olive oil and then cut them into pieces and then add them to my favorite Creole recipe. In a few hours, you'll have a hearty winter meal that you can tempt your friends with. And show them, crow makes great table fare.
Wow, it's gummy.
Closed captioning of Angler and Hunter Television is brought to you in part by Ontario Out of Doors Magazine. Angler and Hunter Television has been brought to you by Canadian Tire, Mercury Marine and Lund Boats, Yamaha ATVs, Browning Ammunition, Browning Firearms, Suffix Fishing Line, Rapala, Camillus Knives and Cuda Tools, and Yukon Gear. For more information on the products used in this episode of Angler and Hunter Television, visit ahtv.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Remember, conserve and protect our great outdoors.